19 years of age, and there was a young lady that I had fallen for. At least I thought I had. I didn't know what love was, but I thought I did. And she was very rough around the edges. She was beautiful. Like, she was fine as May Day wine. I'm telling you all. Like, she was hot. And so I thought I could be the one to break the shell and see past the hardness of her and get to the softness and win her over. And I began to do that. And so we started to spend time together. We started to talk on the phone a lot. And she would tell me about some of her misadventures and some of the abusive relationships that she had encountered. And this was all new to me. This was a totally different world. I didn't know men, young men, who abused women. I didn't know young men personally who were drug dealers. I didn't have that. I had heard of things, but I didn't really know much about that part of life from a close relationship standpoint. And so there was an instance where she was really scared, and she had decided that she was going to leave town. And so she asked me if I would give her a ride to the train station. I said I would. And I remember we went out and got some food, and this was a late night train. Even to this day, it still leaves about 3 o'clock in the morning. And this was probably, by the time we got some food and hung out, it was probably 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I had taken her to the train station because she was fearful of this particular person that she had been seeing. And again, I didn't really know much beyond what she was telling me. I didn't really think much of it. So we get to the train station and we walk in, and she was like, I hope he doesn't come here looking for me. And I'm like, he's not going to come here looking for you. Like, who's going to come to a train station at 2 o'clock in the morning looking for you, or 1 o'clock, whatever it was? And so we're talking, and she's facing me, but my back is to the entryway of the train station. And I'm talking to her, and her face goes ghost pale, all right? Like, she's, I would call her, like, her complexion was that of, like, who can I give you all a good example of? Like Kerry Washington, okay, from Scandal. Her complexion's like that. So when it goes pale, it's very striking. And I look behind me and I see this dude walking up, and he looks like everything she's described. Like, he looks like a terror, like a horrible person. Like, and so the exterior of me, I'm calm, but inside my heart is racing. I'm like, what is about to happen? He walks up and says, come on, let's go. And I said to her, you don't have to go if you don't want to go. And she's like, no, I better go. And I looked at him and I said, you do not have to go if you don't want to go. Because that's really all I could think of. Like, I didn't know if we were about to fight. I didn't know. I was completely not prepared for this. So I'm looking at her, and she's like, you don't understand. You don't know what he'll do. And this fool, he puts his hand in his pocket as if he's grabbing something, and he looks at me and he's like, yeah, you don't know what I'll do. I was like, you don't have to go with him if you don't want to go. But in my mind, I was like, but if you really want to go, you can go. I literally was like, this dude's got a gun. He's about to pull it. I wasn't prepared. Didn't have a lot of posture. I'd only gotten into a few fights at that point in my life. So I didn't know how to read people. again, I didn't have the self-confidence. I just didn't handle the situation in my mind well. Because knowing what I know now, I just would have punched him in his face. And that would have been that. But I was frozen. And so she goes with him. She's like, no, I'm going to go. I was like, fine. And long story short, she went with him, and then her mom called me, and then her mom went and picked her up, and that was the end of that. Like, they never saw each other again. He ended up going to prison, and that was that. Did he have a gun? I don't know. She never told me. We never talked about it, and that was that. Like, he just kind of faded into the backdrop. And yes, my dumb ass continued to see her for a while. That was just dumb. But anyway, I share this story to share this, that number one, what I learned was I learned how to put time into anticipating situations. I went full force into my study of martial arts. I had been dabbling a little bit, but I really went hard after that because I was certain that I would never ever allow myself to be in a situation where I couldn't do tremendous damage if I felt threatened. Like, I was okay if somebody was a better fighter than me, or a better striker than me, a better grappler than me. I was fine with that. I'll take an ass whooping. But you are going to get some serious damage if you and I encountered each other. I just made it my business to make sure that I trained that up in me. So it was a huge, not only a great learning experience, but it was a springboard into that type of training. It changed my life forever. The second thing was this. I started picking better in terms of my relationships. In terms of the women that I was dating, I picked so much better. I became so much more adept at the red flags, asking better questions. Like, I got so good from that. But hey, I'm grateful for that experience. I'm grateful that it happened when I was really young, because it really was a part of my foundation. And I wanted to share that with you all, because I'm sure maybe some of you had encounters where you might have got punked by somebody. Maybe somebody, caught you off guard and you weren't ready for it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So you can either train or you can complain. And if you have never taken martial arts, if you've never taken boxing, I highly recommend it. If you feel like you wouldn't know what to do or how to handle yourself in a physical confrontation, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you start learning and studying some form of fighting so that you're prepared. It's better to be prepared and not have the situation occur than to have the situation occur and not be prepared. Got some value out of this message? Maybe a jolt of storytelling? Please share it, like, and subscribe. And we'll keep the conversations of enlightenment, constant, never-ending improvement going. Have a beautiful day.